Hi there, fellow self-improvement enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the human psychology and solve personality riddles. Today, we're highlighting INFJs, those perceptive and empathetic individuals, and delving into the fascinating explanations for why it's possible that they are blissfully ignorant of their own flaws. So take out your imaginary magnifying lens and let's start this contemplative voyage. Idealistic self-perception. An attribute that often characterizes INFJs, idealistic self-perception, is the first area of inquiry for us to explore. These psychic visionaries have a remarkable talent for seeing the beauty and unrealized potential that are present in almost every aspect of life, including their own image in the cosmic mirror. They appear to be wearing rose-colored spectacles that are symbolic of their optimistic outlook. But often the very lenses that make the world around them so brilliant can obscure the details of their own shortcomings with a soft haze. INFJs live their lives with a focus on the bright side of things, enveloped in the pleasant brightness they radiate outward. They frequently adopt this emphasis on the positive, upbeat, and promising as their default mode, which creates a compelling story that sometimes obscures the more complex facets of their own personalities. The problem comes when these positive lenses soften the sharp edges of self-awareness while also exquisitely highlighting the world's wonders. It's not a lack of reflection so much as a tendency to focus on the positives, which can make it difficult for INFJs to turn the spotlight inward and identify areas that could use some fine-tuning. Imagine an INFJ painting a bright, optimistic picture of life, with every brushstroke emphasizing its beauty and possibilities. However, the shadows of their own frailties may be subtly hidden inside this masterwork. It's an inadvertent result of their innate optimism and never-ending search for the bright side, not a purposeful error. Therefore, in this world of endless sunshine, it may be necessary to conduct a more deliberate and nuanced investigation before acknowledging one's own vulnerabilities. The intriguing dichotomy is that the optimism that propels their compassion and vision can also, sometimes, subtly conceal the less lit facets of their own self-awareness, stressing the needs of others. Let's now explore the second aspect of the INFJ mystique, which is their endearing focus on the needs of others. Imagine, if you will, an environment in which empathy is like a calm river that nourishes the emotional soil of individuals who are fortunate enough to be impacted by its waters. INFJs are masters at building emotional bridges because they have a remarkable capacity to perceive and comprehend the needs and feelings of those around them. Their capacity for empathy acts as a compass, continually pointing others in the direction of understanding and support, which produces a lovely domino effect. However, there is an intriguing subtlety that forms their perceptive landscape amid this sea of compassion. These compassionate people absorb and resonate with the pleasures and tragedies of those around them, much like emotional sponges. It's an immersive experience where they internalize other people's emotions and produce a beautiful symphony of shared feelings, rather than just watching. Though a tremendous strength, this limitless reservoir of empathy can occasionally unintentionally cast a shadow on their own introspection. Consider the INFJ to be a gardener who toils diligently in the emotional gardens of people they love. They may unintentionally ignore their own inner garden as a result of the energy they expend tending to the emotional plants of others. The weeds of their own shortcomings may go unnoticed as they tend to the seeds of happiness in others. It results from their sympathetic focus, a slight tipping of the scales in favor of others' needs rather than from deliberate indifference. INFJs may find themselves enveloped in the bright light of their good deeds and the beneficial effects they have on other people's lives, The happiness they derive from changing the world turns into a beacon of light, so bright that they may momentarily lose sight of their own shortcomings. The emotional synergy they foster can occasionally result in a lovely paradox. Although they shine as rays of hope for others, the brightness of their selfless efforts may momentarily obscure their own areas of personal development. The averting of confrontation. This brings us to the third layer of the INFJ tapestry: their complex relationship with conflict. Let's unravel this complicated thread. Imagine, if you will, the calm surface of a lake representing the peace that INFJs so desperately want. These peaceful people navigate life's currents with a desire for harmony rather than turbulence, choosing the path of least resistance, much like the placid waters. This preference for calm waters over choppy ones is not merely an apparent decision. It is ingrained in the very fabric of their sense of self and, in a fascinating paradox, influences how they accept their shortcomings. Confrontation is like the storm that upends the calm seas of an INFJ's emotional landscape. Even the thought of internal conflict can make people uncomfortable, particularly if it entails admitting their own shortcomings. It's more of an aversion to than a fear of the storm itself, the potential rippling effects on their internal balance. This innate fear of disagreement is not limited to their dealings with others. It also permeates their inner world. Think of the INFJ as a curator of emotional balance and a protector of their inner tranquility. The admission of their shortcomings, like a wind blow upsetting the lake's surface, sends out a rippling internal conflict that they may naturally want to avoid. It's a careful balancing act between the inner need for peace of mind and the drive for personal development rather than a deliberate denial. They may, in an effort to preserve internal peace, inadvertently decide to ignore some aspects, not out of denial, but rather as a sincere effort to protect the fragile equilibrium they value. This complex interplay between conflict and self-perception is fascinating to watch. Their careful construction of an emotional haven is protected by their protective mechanism, which is the avoidance of accepting their shortcomings. They don't deliberately ignore the shadows that hold the possibility for growth. Rather, they cover them for a while to protect the calm interior landscape. Let's now take a closer look at the subtleties of the conflict, diverse personality of the INFJ. Imagine that the INFJ has a huge mental library with books that each reflect a different aspect of their personality. While some volumes are well-worn and include stories of their victories and strengths, others are kept hidden away on a shelf with poor lighting. These are the chapters of possible flaws that they may be unwilling to go into for a while in order to preserve peace. INFJs play both writers and readers in the big story of their life. Avoiding confrontation develops into a distinctive literary style in which the chapters of internal strife are cautiously written. Even though these people are great writers who can tell stories that evoke empathy and compassion, they occasionally struggle to write chapters that explore their own characters' weaknesses. Recognizing holes in their story is like discovering a plot device that could cause instability in a story that is otherwise peaceful. They handle the story twist, the emotional tension that results from turning the page to face personal shortcomings, with a mixture of caution and thoughtfulness, rather of being catapulted into the spotlight of self-awareness. Some components may find themselves bookmarked for future examination in their quest for a harmonious plot. That concludes our in-depth analysis of the reasons why INFJs may be somewhat unaware of their own shortcomings. But keep in mind that it's all a part of their complex and compassionate personality. If you identify as an INFJ, please leave a comment below with your opinions. For everyone else, keep checking back to our channel for more great insights into the fascinating realm of personality. I'll see you on the next voyage. Until then, keep delving into your own thoughts.